Hello everyone, welcome back. This is a game 14 between Grandmaster Liren from China and Gukesh Domaraju from India. The score is tied 6.5 to 6.5. If between any of these two super GMs, if anyone wins the game, he becomes the world champion. If Ding wins, he will regain his title, and if Gukesh wins, he will be the youngest world champion, and he will be the 18th world champion, and he's also 18-year-old. So let's see whether Gukesh can create the history or will Ding is retain his title. Okay, now this simply Ding starts with the knight f3. Gukesh responds with the d5, a principal approach, and now just simply g3, another Catalan system. Now the c5 is played, bishop to j2, knight to c6, d5, e6, castle. Now pawn takes pawn. Now this pawn takes pawn at high level variations. These super gems don't exchange pawns early, but this is a world championship match. So of course you wanted to surprise your opponent, and this will be well prepared by the engine. So it's a good move. Knight takes pawn. Now just knight to e7. This knight to e7, it's a rare move because it blocks your bishop. And Ding here thinks about 10 minutes and he plays the move c4. Of course you have to attack your opponent's center. Now just knight takes knight, queen takes knight, just knight come to the c3, and queen to d1 is played by Ding. Here queen to d3 is also very interesting. After queen to d3 you have to play d4, then you have to come to e3, bishop to c5, and now just pawn takes pawn, bishop takes pawn, rook to d1, e5, and bishop e3. Here you cannot capture this bishop, because if you capture this bishop then this simply checkmate. So here after bishop to e3 you have to play bishop to g4, attacks the rook, rook comes on the d2, and just simply castle, and you have to take this pawn, and now h3, bishop goes to the e6, and knight to a3, queen to g5, and just simply rook to d1, rook to d8, and knight c2. This position is good for white because black is losing this pawn. There is no way to protect this pawn, and also after b3 white has this pawn majority, and these pawns are equal, so white will be simply a pawn of fear. But instead Ding plays queen to d1, he plays the safe move, and now just to d5 Gukesh takes this space, and now just Ding challenged the pawn by the e3, and now just simply bishop to c4 is played. Here Ding plays pawn takes pawn, but here a3 is a very interesting move, because after a3 if black captures the pawn, you have to take pawn back with the pawn, not with the bishop. And now queen takes queen, rook takes queen, a5 has to be played to prevent the move b4, and just simply b3, bishop to d7, knight to c3, and this position is good for white as this knight is coming to b5 square. This knight also comes here, and also here this knight has a very strong set, and black pieces are tied here. This knight has only this square, his bishop has no squares, and his bishop only hitting this. So it's a pretty good position for white, but instead Ding does not find a3. He just simply captures the pawn. I think Ding is simply playing, I think it's just like I'm looking the live stream. Ding is playing like a player who is when you are playing against a strong player and you want to exchange pitches to get a draw. Ding is playing like this game. In the game 12 he was playing like a super GM, as he was in must-win game. This game I am really disappointed with the Ding's approach, and also the commentators also disappointed, because as a world champion you should have to play an attacking game with the white pieces. You don't play a defensive game, because Gukesh is playing extremely attacking game. Even he has a worse position against Ding, he plays attacking game. In last game Gukesh almost win the game, and Ding just survives that barely. So everyone is praising Gukesh. I am also praising Gukesh for his attacking games. The Gukesh plays like a fearless lion here. In order to beat a fearless lion, he also becomes a fearless lion. If you become a ship in front of the lion, what happens in the end? The lion eats the ship. So I'm very impressed by the Gukesh play, his optimism. He's playing with the black pieces, but he's playing for a win here, and Ding is playing for a draw. It's just simply incredible for this young 18-year-old Gukesh Domaraju from India. That's it. It's just simply incredible. Now just simply bishop takes pawn, knight to c3. Here after castle, knight to b5 is played. Now Gukesh made an inaccuracy here. The reason it is inaccuracy, the engine is suggesting move the e5, and after e5 the black position is active, as his bishop can come to f3, his bishop can come to e6, or it can even come to here. So here Gukesh gives the Dings a chance. Now Ding can again become the aggressive, and he put the pressure on the Gukesh as the white pieces. All he has to find a move, queen to e2, and just play and bishop to e3. That's it. Now the white is simply attacking the black piece, and black is on the passive side. So Gukesh made an inaccuracy, and maybe he just mixed up his prep. Now can Ding find it? Unfortunately, Giging plays b3 for him, as he was very passive here. Here I'm going to show you what happened after queen to e2. Unfortunate for Ding that he didn't find the queen e2. And now, as an analyzer, okay, I'm just going to analyze the games. I cannot take anyone's sides here. So now after e5 is played, and now the just simply rook to d1. You have to hit the queen. The queen has to move to the f6, and now the bishop to e3. Knight to b, we just exchange this, and just simply bishop to f4 here. That's it. Now in this variation, you cannot capture here because you will lose the pawn. You have to play queen to e2, and now just if bishop takes bishop, queen takes bishop, queen takes queen, and just simply after b6 the white is a pawn up here and has this majority. White bishop is extremely strong, as these pawns are going this way. After all the pawns are exchanged, this pawn can protect the pawn, and black is in serious trouble. But Ding plays here b3, and now the Gukesh is again come back in game. Now the Gukesh has a serious initiative, and he can put pressure on the Ding, and Gukesh does not. I don't think that Gukesh will win this opportunity, and now he plays a6, and now the knight to c3 is played here. Bishop to d4, again the same position with engine, which happens in the board move 2-3 move backs. The same positions happens here. Now the only difference is that the pawn on the b3, so this rook is undefended, so this knight cannot move here. And also there is a a6, so this knight cannot go here. This knight cannot go here. This knight cannot go here. The same position, but now the black is in decisive way. So just bishop to b2. You have to play this move, otherwise you dead lost here. Now simply e5. The move engine is suggesting a few before. Now the Gukesh plays it now, and just simply queen to d2 is played. Here there is a very strong move, queen to a5, which Gukesh doesn't play. After queen to the a5, you have putting serious pressure here. Rook to c1 is not possible. If rook to c8 is played, then there is a serious pressure here. So you have to play h3 to stop bishop to g4 in the future. Now bishop to e6. Now you have to play rook to d1. If h3 does not play, the bishop can attack the rook. So now just after rook to d8, knight can come to the d5, takes, and just simply rook to d7, bishop takes bishop, knight, and this simply rook to d3. This is not possible, and now just simply, this is a very, of course this is easy for you, but as for human forwarding, it might be difficult to reach this position. So Gukesh plays bishop to e6. Now the Ding has again get a chance to neutralize the black initiative. So he plays knight to d5. It's a very good move. But here the b5 comes as a shocker to Ding, as this b5 disrupts this strong white chain, attacks this key defensor of this pawn, and now what you play here, you can stop the video and try to find a line here. One line which keep the advantage for white and keep the pressure on the black, and in other line black get his initiative back and Ding goes into passive. So here I'm going to show you the correct move here. The correct move here is to bishop. You have to capture your opponent bishop. Then knight takes knight has to be played, and then f4. You must have to find f4, and now the black will take the pawn. Now b takes c, and now just rook to c1, sorry, rook to c8, and now rook to c8, and now queen to e has to be played, as after exchanges the pawn you have to here to defend this. So pawn takes pawn, and now queen comes to the c5. You have to king to h1, and now knight to c6, queen to the f4, knight to d4, queen to f2. bishop takes knight, bishop takes bishop, and now just this position, black knight is, it goes here, white can capture and this lose pawns. So this is a very good for Ding. Instead he choose he takes b5, and now he just instead of winning pawn for self in previous variations, he give one pawn to Gukesh. Ding was so desperate to take a draw here. He even has the white pieces. The commentators Peter Leko and Daniel Nardowski got shocked by seeing this move, as they are not expecting this move. They are all showing these lines in the live stream. So Ding finds knight to f4. Now Gukesh just simply takes the knight. Bishop takes knight. Bishop takes bishop. Queen takes bishop, and now rook to b1. Rook to d8. Rook to d1. Here, after queen to b6, here there is a very interesting line. If Ding was so desperate for a draw here he has a 43 minutes, and 23 moves are already played. He has to just make 17 more moves to reach the time control. Here, after Ding has 43 minutes, all he has to do, okay, you are showing this to us. One move is to bishop to d7, and other move is to bishop to f3. Engine says draw both the moves. It's not like that if you move bishop there or here, it will be a dead loss. No, but if you have an initiative in the white pieces, but you lost the initiative, then your opponent gets the initiative. Your opponent gives your initiative back to you, and you just simply get a initiative back. Okay, you are playing for a draw here, and Ding plays here bishop to f3. But now the Gukesh has a serious pressure towards king after b5. Okay, this is also a draw. If Magnus Carlsen is playing here, he will simply play confidently. But Ding was so scared, he was so shaky, that he does not see the move bishop to d7. Now the reason his move is so strong, because, okay guys, just look closely at the position. Black has 2 rooks, white has 2 rooks, and also they both have a queen. So if this bishop is eliminated, his position is a draw, because queen versus queen is a draw, rook versus rook is a draw. I mean, mostly draw. In this structure, it is 100% draw. So all Ding has to do is to exchange the bishop. Okay, if his bishop is of dark square bishop and his bishop light square bishop, it is okay to keep the bishop on the board if you wanted a draw, as opposite color bishop endgames are mostly drawn. You have to find a move which force your opponent to give his bishop. If you play a move and your opponent does not have a chance, have another move to prevent the thread, he can do that, but he does not find this. So now, after you have to play rook to b8 here, now just simply bishop takes bishop, queen takes bishop, queen to c1 you have to be played here to hitting this pawn, and now rook pawn takes pawn has to be played here, and then just pawn takes pawn, and now at h5 or h6 both are okay. Queen to g5 takes, and now just simply b5 has to be played to stop this move, and now this position is a draw. Now okay, here you have to play h6, and now this position is a completely draw. That's it, his position is a draw. Ding has not to worry, he can go home, calm his posture, and came back for rapid tie breaks. But since he plays bishop to f3, now the Gukesh is not obligated to exchange this bishop, as if you come here, you just come, I mean, you cannot come here right now, but this bishop, it stays on the board. Whenever the bishop is board, there is a winning chances for both the sides. And now pawn takes pawn, Ding. Okay, these pawns are equal. Black has 4 pawns, white also has 4 pawns. Here the white has a pawn majority on the queen side, and black has a pawn majority on the queen side. So Gukesh plays b5. Now this b5 is so strong as it stops the a4. Now there is n passant, or also it stops the a3. But here Ding was extremely scared here. Ding plays the move a4. I am going to show another variations. He has to play here queen to d4. He has to keep the pawns here. You should not be afraid of this pawn, as after you must have to see. Okay, let's assume that this position you are playing with the white pieces, and your opponent playing with the black pieces, and this is an OTB event. You should not be afraid of this move because you have to find a way to target this pawn. If you put entire your energy to target this weak pawn, so what will happen? Black entire energy will go to save that pawn, and the game will end in a draw. As if black loses this pawn, then it is a winning for white. So instead, have a winning mindset. Ding has come to a draw mindset, so he doesn't play queen to d4. After queen to d4, queen to f5 has to be played here, and now queen to f4, targeting this rook. So after this, you have to always eyes like silent. Now rook to fd8 is played. Now bishop to g4 has to be played here. Black has to exchange the bishops here, as this bishop cannot come here. Okay, it can come here, but it's a pin, so you can also come here. You can start chasing the bishop, and after bishop exchange, it's a draw. So if you are, as these are the weak square, so you have to eliminate this bishop. So now, so bishop to d5 is played. Now you have to play, you can rook to c1 because this pawn cannot be taken, as you can take. Okay, I will show you the line. After queen takes a2, there is a rook takes bishop, and now you cannot take with this, as it's simply checkmate. So you have to play queen to b6 here. Now you have to hit this bishop. The bishop has to go back all in. You play rook to d7. You have to exchange takes, and just simply, sorry, this is not the way. You have to play rook to f1. Now in this position, white is attacking black. As in chess, if you have white, you should attack. And now this also, now there is no way black can stop this. So let's say you play this, you just hit the queen, and now queen moves, and you just eliminate this bishop. The position is a draw, or that's it. This position is a draw. So now instead, he plays a4, and now the Gukesh is in heaven, because now this pawn is going to lose, and Gukesh has this powerful bishop and this pawn major. He can play for this. The only player who is play for win here is the Grandmaster Gukesh Domaraju in this position, as white cannot win this position after a4. Diding was completely give off his winning chances here, and he was simply craving for a draw when I was watching the live stream. So now just en passant, rook takes pawn, and just g6, a calm move, as Gukesh solved his back rank problem. So now rook to queen to d4 is played. Now again, please take my queen and give me a draw. So Gukesh says no, I am not going to give a draw here. He plays queen to b5, and now Ding says, now Ding forces the pawn trade here, as if Gukesh doesn't take the pawn, then this rook is coming to b1, and black has to give all his resources to defend this, I mean to attack this pawn, and it should be easy for Ding. So Gukesh takes the pawn. Of course, it's extra pawn who will not take, and just simply takes, and just here Ding plays rook to a8, and just simply it forces the one rook off the board. Now this is okay. g5 is played to prevent a4, or so now. Okay, let's look closely. Black has 3 pawns, white has 2 pawns, 1 rook, 1 bishop, that's it. This is a dead draw position. This is a Grandmaster draw, but there's only one way to hold this. I think I'm going to show you how you can hold this game. Okay, now the bishop to d4 is played. Of course, the Gukesh will not accept the bishop. The game instantly becomes a draw, as Ding will not trade its rook. So bishop to f5 is played, rook to c1 is played, king to g7, rook to c7, and just simply bishop to g6. Another giving offer of rook trades. Of course, you cannot take the rook, otherwise it's a draw. So Gukesh gives the check, king come to the g6, rook to e1. Okay, Gukesh is just moving here, and white is super safe here. So rook to b5 is played by the Ding, and now h5. Of course, you have to move the pawn to put the pressure on your opponent. Ding plays rook to a4, and now rook to e5 is played. bishop to f3 is played. Now just simply king comes to s6, king to g1, rook to e6, rook to c5, sorry c4, and just simply g4. You have to stop this pawns, and now just simply bishop to d4. You hits the bishop moves, king to h5 is played here. The king panicked with f3. The move here, you guys, you must, okay, let's see the same line. You have to eliminate this bishop if you wanted to hold this draw, an easy draw. Okay, come on, you must whenever you are playing chess, you must be in a calm mind, a cool mindset, and winning mindset. Even if you are losing the game, you should be a mindset of lion. Okay, I know I am losing, but I have to fight this game. And okay, you wanted to draw a game. Okay, how can I draw this? Okay, I just have to eliminate this bishop or the rook. I cannot eliminate both the pieces and I will lose. So you must have to try to exchange one of his pieces, but also you have to keep one of the pieces. So now this bishop literally doesn't have any moves. Okay, this bishop can go to s7, or this has this diagonal. This rook is here. So basically all Ding has to find the move, bishop to d4. Now if this exchange, this is an instant draw. This is an easy draw for Ding. So if Gukesh, let's say, plays f5, now this all you have to do is a simple move. That's it. Because this move cannot move forward, this rook has to go here, and whenever the pawn moves, you're losing this bishop. You have to at least king or the rook to guarding this pawn, or if the Gukesh loses this pawn, this is a draw. So now king to the f6 has to be played. You just simply move the bishop. You just play bishop to f2, then you lose this. So you have to keep this bishop here. So black will play rook to e6, and now just simply king to g2. Okay, you cannot move this bishop, sorry guys, because you are going to lose pawn. So black has just simply will attack your bishop. You just put here attacks, just move the bishop. It's an easy draw. Okay, this is an easy draw. Now if Ding find this move, he can only find this move if he's in calm mind, relaxed mindset, and he's confident. But Ding was panicked, he was shaky, and he was under confidence. So of course he missed the move, and he plays f3. He got extremely panicked. Okay, the reason he plays f3 because in some variation, if bishop and rook, it's a checkmate. So he will say, okay, I will just exchange this pawn and I will play for a draw. So Gukesh plays here f5. I was now just Ding simply exchanging one of the pawns. Of course, you have to eliminate the pawns. And now rook to b4. Okay, this rook is doing a fantastic job here by preventing this king infiltration. And if the king cannot attack this pawn, this is a draw. The rook cannot, of course, you can attack this pawn, then you can defend this with the king to f2. This bishop cannot attack this pawn, as this bishop is a light square bishop and the pawn is on the dark square. So all Ding has to do is to hold his nerves here, but instead, okay, Gukesh tries bishop f7, king to f2 is played, check, back to the g1, and now just simply king to f6. Gukesh is just moving the Gukesh knows it's a draw. Gukesh knows it's a draw, but he is testing Ding. Okay, I know it's a draw, but show me you can hold this, Ding. I want to become the world champion, and I'm not giving you the easy draw. So Ding checks, king goes back to the g4, and just simply again protecting this break. This line is a key line here, and now bishop to e6 is played here, rook to a4, and now rook to b8 is played, and Ding plays I will say this is inaccuracy because his bishop has controlling only this diagonal. If his bishops attack this bishop, the bishop doesn't have the moves here. So, and now you will see why this is an inaccuracy. After king to f5, Ding plays rook to f4, and now here everything is a draw except one move, and Ding plays the only move. Now Ding plays this move, and he is completely losing here. Okay guys, you can pause the video. and try to find a move that Grandmaster Gukesh finds, and he becomes the world champion. Okay, if he finds it. Now the problem is that here you have, after rook takes, now there is no way to stop this bishop trade, as the king pawn endgame is a loss for white. So bishop takes, and here Liren resigns the game, and Gukesh becomes the youngest world champion of the history. Gukesh created history today after the rook f2 blunder by the Liren. This is simply a massive blunder. I was watching the live commentary. Daniel Nartowski is saying this, that you can play anything here, just don't play rook f2, otherwise you lost. And Ding just played. It's simply unfortunate for Ding that he misses this simple follow-up moves. If he has 9 minutes on the clock, if he was calm-minded, relaxed mindset, and he calculated just 3-2 moves further, then he might will not play rook to f2. But once misfortune is another fortune, and Gukesh becomes world champion. Okay, the key here is to save this game, so I'm going to show it. Sorry, rook to f2 is a massive blunder here. Okay, I'm going to teach you how to save this game. Okay, here, okay guys, simple. This rook is controlling this entire line. He's attacking this pawn, and the king cannot enter the position. If the king cannot enter, this pawn is safe. If Gukesh plays bishop to f4 now, then just the Ding can simply exchange, and rook pawn endgame, this is a draw. So all you have to do is, you have to move your bishop to c6. You have to keep the rook here. The reason you don't move rook here, because if you move the rook, Gukesh can push the pawn forward, and after exchanging the pawn, Ding has to play for another 50 moves, as there is a 50 move rule draw in a chess. Those are new to the chess. When the pawn doesn't move and patient doesn't get exchanges for 50 moves, the game is in a draw. Or Ding has to do here is to put this rook here and just move this bishop. If Gukesh wanted to exchange this bishop to move the game 50 moves, then it's a dead draw. The rook downs are easy. Now, okay, let's say you attack this. What? I will just push here. And now you play here, attacking this pawn. I will just simply come here. If you come to the bishop to c5, you have to just come back here. And now rook to c2, you just have to come here. Okay, what you do? Okay, let's try. Let's say you try to exchange the bishop. Now this is what will happily exchange the bishop here, and just simply this is a draw. That's it. And now this is such an easy draw. And Ding, the reason Ding misses this, I think he was panicked, he was scared, he was desperate for a draw. If Ding Liren is playing against an 1800 player this position, or 2000 player, or an IM, or simply a GM of 2600, or he is playing even against a 1000 player, or he is playing against someone amateur like me, then he will simply hold this position. I don't think that Ding can make this blunder rook f2 against me or against you guys, because Ding is playing against Gukesh. So Gukesh tortured him the game 13. He just barely survived. Now Gukesh, he has a better position, Ding, but he make inaccuracies, and Gukesh take the advantage, and Gukesh torturing him this game. All Ding Liren has to do here, he has to think like a Magnus. The reason I love Magnus Carlsen, because the Magnus is such a tenacious defender. The guy was simply a human machine. He doesn't afraid to hold his positions. You can see one of his game against Nakamura, the chess 960. He was a rook and pawn and the king. The position is a theoretical draw. Hikaru as a queen. It is a 5-second increment each one. Magnus is playing on a 5-second, guys. He plays the next 75 moves and orbiter enters, and it's a draw. So this is an easy draw for Ding if he was a calm-minded. So the Gukesh becomes the youngest world champion. So congratulations to Gukesh, and I have good wishes for him for his career, and I hope he will become the world #1 player also if he classical surpass Magnus Carlsen, as Magnus already says that he don't care if somebody surpass in the classical game. So Gukesh, after Vishwanathan Anand, Gukesh Domoraju becomes the India's second world champion, and today is yesterday was Vishwanathan Anand's birthday. And it's just like that a student gives a gift to a teacher, and maybe this is a birthday gift from Gukesh to Vishwanathan Anand sir, a world championship. So after 17 years, the World Championship, sorry, not 17. In 2013, Vishwanath Anand sir lost the title to Magnus Carlsen, and after 11 years, the Gukesh bring back the title to the India. And now it's very interesting. I think, yeah, in FIDE second, Arjun come as a second, and Caruana was first in US Master. So I think the Caruana qualifies from FIDE circuit. So now the Arjun has to win the World Cup, or he has to play FIDE Grand Prix, and he is also the, or he has to propose Nakamura in the ratings, as Caruana is already qualified here. So the fight is between the, I think, Nakamura and Arjun Agassi for a rating spot. But of course, the 1 years to go, and there are Yush to coming. So it is very interesting to see the Gukesh journey after becoming the world champion. And the Dings, I was watching the press conference. The Ding was an extremely gentleman, guys. He lost the match by a blunder after Rook F2, which the position is a dead draw. He lost his title. The guy come there. He says that he has no regrets. He congratulates Gukesh, and he lives like a champion. He just an, if you lost in a certain positions in their life, you must have to learn from the Liren. He just graciously accepts his defeat against the Gukesh, and he says he has no regrets. He congratulates Gukesh, and he goes like a champion. Okay, Gukesh is a world champion, congrats him, but also I feel bad for the Ding, as he was not in his good shape, and he lost his title. Of course, I'm also be happy to see Ding Liren come back as a strong player, as he was 2800, and he, of course, it is unfortunate for him that FIDE changed the rule. In the previous FIDE rules, World Championship challenger or World Champion, if lost the World Championship battle, he has a direct entry in the candidates. But last year, FIDE changed rule, as now the World Champion or World Championship challenger, if lost the World Championship match, they cannot get direct entry in the candidates. Now, if the Ding wanted his title back, he has 1 year. He has to either come through FIDE circuit, he can participate in the World Cup and finish top 3, or he can participate in a FIDE Grand Prix and finish top 2. So now it's very interesting to see whether Ding can come back and wins, come back in the candidates and wins the candidate and challenge the Gukesh, or there is some another player. There is a Caruana, there is Arjun Agassi, there is a Pragnananda, there is a Hikaru Nakamura, there is a Ian Nepomenachi, Aliriza, Nodirbek, there is a Vidit Gujarati. There are so many strong players. There is a Hans Niemann, which is also playing good chess. So many, there is a Vincent Kaimar, there is a Duda. I mean, there are so many players who wanted to become world champion. Now we got a new world champion after 2 years. So these all players will fight for candidate spots, and they will play candidates. And so it's very interesting to see who's become the next challenger of the Gukesh. But that's now, the Gukesh is a world champion now for 2 years, and I hope he enjoys his title and continues his journey as a chess player. As for 18 years, this is an amazing achievement. When I was 18 years, I was in the 12th. I was so afraid of my exams sometimes. Of course, not any one time, but he was for 18-year-old guys. Winning the world championship is simply incredible, and it's simply amazing. So congrats to him, and also congrats, and also good luck to Ding for his next this loss, as he accepted the loss as a champion. And I hope Ding can come back as a strong player, and he get his confidence back and participate in the top tournaments and perform good. As there's a phrase, a man should act like a man and lion. A man should not act like a sheep, because a man honor is in his masculinity. If a man loses his masculinity, then it's everything. So I hope Ding gets his confidence back and play like a champion in his first tournament. So thank you, guys. I created this 14 game series. Those who are watching only this game analysis, I would like if you watch my previous game analysis and comment and subscribe. So guys, I hope I'm going to continue this work of the analysis, and so let's see. Of course, this world championship is over. So when the next tournament started, I will happy to bring you the games, good games, and try to analyze at my best part. So thank you, guys.